Today, we are going to eat like a king. I'm going to show you how to make the best chicken a la king. Now, if you've never heard of chicken a la king, it is a delicious, creamy chicken dish that is packed full of veggies, mushroom with an amazing comfort food sauce. I love serving it over pasta, rice, or even just with biscuits. It's so delicious and so easy to make at home. Hi, friends. My name's Christina. I'm with eatingonadime.com. My sister and I, Carrie, run the website, and we're on a mission to teach every family how to make simple, easy, delicious meals at home, especially on a budget. And we are all about all the shortcuts we can without sacrificing the flavor. So if that's you, you are in the right place. So as always, I have linked this recipe in the description below. So you don't have to worry about taking notes, guys. We've done it all for you. You can print it. It has the nutritional information. It has tips, tricks, all the things. So make sure that you check that out. All right, let's get started. So this is a stovetop recipe. Most of this is made on the stovetop. If you've been following us for a while, you know our number one trick for stovetop recipes is to have everything ready and at hand's reach. Because once you're at the stove and you're cooking, you're rocking, you're rolling, it goes pretty quick. So we like to do all the prep work ahead of time. So we're gonna knock that out. And then we're gonna head on to that beautiful stove and get this cooking for you. So first, let's talk about some chicken. This is chicken a la king. So you need some chicken breast for this recipe. I am using 3 boneless, skinless chicken breasts, and we're going to dice this into just like small bite-sized pieces so that it's easy to eat. Chicken is all over the place. There's big breasts, there's small breasts. This is roughly about 1.5 pounds chicken breast. So if yours are bigger, you can eyeball it from there. When cutting chicken, I like to cut it lengthwise first and into long strips. We're big believers here that you only need one really good knife, and this is it, friends. This knife is awesome. I've linked it in the description below for you. It is an investment piece, but it's worth it, trust me. My oldest daughter is like getting an apartment, and she was looking at like knife sets, and I was like, why don't you take that money and just buy this knife, and that's all you need in your kitchen. It's really going to just save you a lot of heartache, and it's going to save you money as well. So once you cut it lengthwise here into strips, I just turn it and then hold it together. Most of the time it sticks to itself. You don't even have to do it. And then just cut it into smaller bite-sized pieces. They do not have to be perfect. You want them roughly the same size, but they don't have to be exact. Then when I look at it, if there's any that's just obviously bigger, I might cut it in half again, but these are looking pretty good. Now we're going to get the veggies ready. I set the chicken aside. I gave my knife a quick wash just because I'm afraid of cross contamination. It'll probably be okay since all this is getting cooked, but better safe than sorry. That's the way I roll. Now we're going to get our veggies chopped up. You need 1 whole yellow onion for this recipe and then 1 green bell pepper. We're going to get this diced before we go to the stovetop. I'm going to use our handy dandy veggie chopper. Can't live without this thing. If you are spending a lot of time chopping veggies, I highly recommend you invest in one. They're on sale all the time on Amazon, so do not buy it unless it's on sale, trust me. If it's not on sale when you go look at it, it will be soon, so just wait. So on the onion, what I like to do is just peel the skin, dice it into quarters, then take the 1/4, put it, I say point side down, like make it look like a triangle, put it point side down onto the blades in the chopper and chopped away. This is a great way to get out that aggression in the kitchen too. It's a 2-for-1. So here's one up close. Just take that 1/4, put it point side down onto the blades. I just kind of press it in so it holds still. Gently shut it and then bang, perfectly chopped onions every single time. Now let's do that bell pepper. We're just going to use the chopper as well. When I do the bell pepper, I just cut off the outside skin and I go around the pepper, and it's really easy to get it without getting the membranes or the seeds. Look at that. Got every single bit. And then you just want to cut these down so that they fit. Most of the time it's just in half. This is looking like it's going to be that as well. And I'm just going to add it right to the chopper as well because the peppers, and the onions get added into this recipe at the same time. So it's fine if they're just all mixed together. All right, the veggies are ready. Okay, we're gonna get all the other ingredients, head to the stovetop, and we're gonna get this chicken a la king cooking. Welcome to the stovetop, friends. You want to heat a large pot, stock pot, or Dutch oven over high heat. We're going to add in 4 tablespoons of butter and let it completely melt. Once that butter is melted, reduce the heat down to medium, and we're going to add in the diced chicken. You want to let this saute for about 10 to 12 minutes until it's slightly browned and cooked through. I'm just going to put it on an even layer as possible so it can get a nice color and on one side and get nice and cooked through. So when I'm sauteing chicken, I like to let it sit for a bit and get completely cooked. So when you start seeing it turn white, that's when you can start tossing it. That way it gets browned and it's going to add flavor to the recipe. So we're going to go ahead and just get this tossed and continuing to let it cook. Once the chicken is cooked through, go ahead and remove it from the pan and place it on a separate plate and set aside. Once the chicken's removed, we're going to add in more butter. More butter, 4 tablespoons more butter, and we're going to let that melt because we're going to saute these veggies. This is comfort food, so don't be afraid of the butter. It adds lots of flavor. Once the butter is melted, add in the peppers and onions that we diced earlier. And then add in 8 ounces sliced mushrooms. We're going to saute this for a few minutes until they're nice and soft. Once those veggies are nice and soft, add in a tablespoon of minced garlic, or you can use 3 cloves freshly minced garlic. We're just going to let that cook for about 30 to 60 seconds until you can start to smell the garlic. You don't want it to cook too long because it'll burn, and burnt garlic is disgusting, trust me. So, and add in 1 cup all-purpose flour, a half a teaspoon of black pepper. These little guys are linked below as well. We are obsessed with these seasoning containers. They're so great and so handy. And then 1 teaspoon of salt. I'm using Himalayan pink salt. You can use whatever salt you use in your kitchen. Stir and let that cook for about 1 to 2 minutes. We are making like a roux, not like a roux. It is a roux, sorry. For this to thicken, and it's going to add a lot of flavor, but you do want to cook that flour for a bit so that it doesn't have that like chalky flour taste. And it's okay that it's like coating the veggies. Once you add the broth, it's going to work itself out. And slowly add in 2 cups chicken broth and stir as you're adding it to get all that flour combined in with the chicken broth. And it's going to be thick, and that's fine. Then add in a half a cup of white wine or white cooking wine, whichever works. I'm using cooking wine today. 4 ounces pimentos. This is drains. The liquid is drained off. 1 cup frozen peas. 1 cup heavy cream. Add the chicken back to the pan. And stir to combine all the ingredients. Bring the mixture to a low simmer. I'm going to turn up the heat slightly until it's simmering. So what a simmer means is like a low boil. So this is a simmer right now. It's great, but we don't want it to start boiling. So I'm just going to reduce the heat down to low, medium low, and let it cook for about 10 to 15 minutes until all the veggies are nice and soft, the chicken is nice and tender, and it has thickened. So you do want to stir this every few minutes just to make sure nothing's burning on the bottom. While that's simmering, go ahead and make your sides. Today I'm serving this over a biscuit, so I'm just going to bake these while that's cooking. So it's been cooking for about 10 minutes, and I think it's perfect. The chicken is cooked through, the peas are tender, and it has a nice thick consistency. So you kind of want the consistency to be like chicken pot pie filling. It's ready, friends. The biscuits are ready and the chicken a la king. So I'm going to show you how I like to serve this, but you can serve it over potatoes. I think it'd be delicious over mashed potatoes, rice, or noodles. All of it would be great. So I like to put a biscuit on my plate and then pour it right on top. So it kind of is going to give you the flavor of almost like a chicken pot pie crust or something like that. And the sauce is going to soak into that biscuit, and it's amazing. Trust me, friends. So sometimes people serve this in a bowl because it can have a little bit of a soup consistency, but I like serving it on a plate, and it is amazing and delicious. Okay, time for my favorite part, taste test. I got to get a little biscuit and a little chicken a la king to make sure I'm getting all of the flavors. Mm, delicious. Truly the best comfort food. The best part of this recipe is that it's easy to change up on your like taste preferences. You don't like mushrooms? Just leave it out. Now, I love the pimentos, but if you're scared about them, just leave them out. It's great. It's delicious. It's still going to be amazing. It's just like a pot pie filling. You can throw in what you love, leave out what you don't, and all the flavor is still going to be there. Thank you so much for joining me today in our kitchen. I'm so glad you guys are here. I hope you try out this new recipe. And when you do, go to eatingonadime.com, go to the recipe itself, and leave us a comment or a review. We love hearing from you guys, and that's the quickest way to get to us. All right, friends, I'm out of here. I got some dinner to eat, and I am hungry. Again, thank you for joining me. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss a delicious, easy recipe. The holidays are coming up and you still got to feed your family, and we're going to get it taken care of for you guys. All right, friends, have a great day. I will see you next time. And until then, remember, eat at home by eating on a dime. Bye, friends.